Boom, boom. Just kind of everybody, welcome back to the channel. All right, we got a little bit of Solan Reloaded on today. So we got a few things going on. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So first of all, we have got the Vast Sea Covenant. We've had this a couple of times before. Interesting little thing. Not a whole lot in terms of, massive gift getting, but you can get some stuff. You got the mainland trip here is you complete. Basically, I really think the only thing you have to do is focus. If you do dailies, each day during this event, you will clear this, okay, and get all the rewards. I mean, there's some pretty nice rewards. There's some Phoenix Blood, Spider Cores, and of course, what's the Spirit Advancement Stones, which are hard to get items. So definitely want to make sure that you do complete it. But if you do your dailies each day, you'll end up completing all of these things. And it shouldn't be really much of an issue. Okay, so go ahead and do that. Focus on that. There's really not a lot of other stuff. You can get the customization, okay, in the diamond. So you can pick the rewards here. This is a lot of diamonds. I mean, you're looking at about nearly 20,000 diamonds. But there's some really good stuff in here. Okay, difficult to get these. 40 of the actual shards. Unfortunately, she's not in here. BB Dong is not in here. Okay. 300, pretty good set. 15. So as you can see, pretty good set of items that they've got here. Is it worth 8,888 diamonds? Well, that's something you're going to have to choose for yourself. This is worth it. This is actually pretty close to being worth it, simply because of the fact that they do have the option to get some of the extended bones in here, the Dust Total Terracotta. So that's plus they got advancement stones. I haven't chosen any of this stuff yet. I was just clicking through, seeing what they had in here. So I think that this one right here is worth it. I'm not sure. I'm not really sold on this. They do have these right here. This is the reshaping scrolls. Okay, so I think that's why they got that one priced at so much, is because of the fact that it does have the shaping scrolls in it. Again, it's something that you might want to look into. Okay, blooming season. This right here is based on getting the flower up. It's really difficult to get very high on this unless you're willing to pay. Okay, soul crystal gift. This is those reshaping scrolls they were talking about. What you can do is if you buy those shaping scrolls, okay, and then get these, which you can get these fairly easy just by exchanging some of these, which you should be able to get, and you can end up getting some shards. It's 8 shards. You can probably get about, maybe one, but see that's the whole point. Of these things. I think spending the diamonds would be a little bit more productive from within here. Okay. And getting these and then using it on these. Okay. I would do the full 15. Okay. 15 times 8. That's quite a bit of shards, and it would almost be a star or a couple of stars on an SP hidden weapon. So this is where I think I would spend most of the actual stuff on, and just try to get as much of these as you can. Okay, and if you have any left over, then you can of course exchange them back and get some diamonds for them. But I would really focus on getting as many of these as you can. Okay, simply because of the fact that I think that's the most economical. Okay, you can walk out with at least 15 times. I mean, granted, you're not going to get 15 unless you spend money. Okay, but we should be able to get you'll be able to get 45 of these reshaping skulls. So that's 4 slots. So if you can get, but then you have to get 5 of these. But that might not be too difficult if you have a lot of shards left over for the triple S's. I've got my triple S's, several of them maxed out. So I would use the shards that are maxed out on and use those for the exchange. because you don't have to get one of each. It's or. It's not and. So if you have just one of these maxed out, okay, now you should be able to walk away with quite a few of them. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So you should be able to theoretically, fairly easy, get the 4 picks. Okay, you need 20 shards up here, and that'll get you 4 of these. Okay, and then you can put them in there. Okay, and get those. Add them up until you got enough to that, because you're going to need 4 times. You're going to need 10. So you got to get the 45 from there. You're going to need 46. You're going to need 20 of these. Okay, and that will enable you to get 32 of them. It's not a lot of shards, but considering that you want to be using a weapon up here, that's, make sure you've got one maxed out. My Ta'a is maxed out, so I know I've got 11 right here that I can use. Okay, so yeah, and just do that. That would be, this would be the best thing to get out of it. And then the rewards, of course, within the thing. But like I say, just do your dailies, and you'll daily dues, and you'll do the trip fine. You'll be able to get all this stuff. It's mid-level stuff, except for this last one, which I consider hard to get. But it's a nice event. It's been up a few times. I was expecting a festival event. I was really surprised to not see one. Okay, but they do have the Behemoth Beast up. This is, of course, a Spirit Soul for Divines. You can choose which one that you want to get inside of the Spirit Prayer. Okay, you can choose whichever soul. I'm working on the Flame Beast right now. Okay, well, once I've got the Flame Beast up to 5 stars, I will then switch over to the Behemoth Beast. Okay, they're SP, so there's not a whole lot, but it's a chance to get some of the shards. Drop rate's really low, so don't that. You can only come up with you won't be able to get a lot of pools when you actually, from a free-to-play perspective, the amount that you actually get is it's in here. Slaughter City Mania. 1, 3, 4, 7, 10. So you'll be able to get 10 if you do the Slaughter City Challenge 6 times. 9 times. Remember, you will have to go into your Assistant Wu, go into the gameplay, go to Slaughter City, and do the set and adjust it so that it does it 3 times. You will need to do that each day. It only does it once automatically, so at the end of the 3-day event, you're going to have 3. Adjust this to 3, 3, 6, 9. There's your 9. Can't miss it. If you miss it, you won't be able to get the full 9. I got the full 9, did some pools. We did get lucky, actually, in this one. I only think I walked away with like 6 shards for my Spirit Soul. But, it's 6 I didn't have before. That's one way to look at it. So keep on that one. That's the Behemoth Beast, and that's associated with Soul Spirit Prayer. Nothing else is really going on in terms of other large-scale events. It's a standard weekend, so you're going to have your active wheel. Nothing else is new. It's like I say, no festival. The Lunar New Year started a couple of days ago. So I think it was on the 6th. I think it was on 6th. I know the traveling started. That's usually when they throw it up. But I'm surprised. We might still see it. Update will be tomorrow. This is the Behemoth Beast ends today. So make sure you do your pools on that. So by tomorrow we might see it. If they do, I'll do another video tomorrow to encompass that in there. On a personal, as you can see, I'm up to 400 billion now. Okay. Took a while to get there, but, it's from a full free-to-play perspective, but I was able to get to 400 billion. I'm going to keep climbing up. Just waiting for the SSP characters to be released. No date as of when that's supposed to happen as of yet, which is fine. I'll just keep working on BB Dong, Wu, Stank San, and Hugh. And we'll go from there. But, yeah, 400 billion is working out fine. Our sect is, we're the #1 sect on the server. Like I say, we had, that a month ago when everything was up in the air. It was a little nerve-wracking, to say the least, because we had just combined 2 servers, very large servers. when they originally started out, and there was a lot of active players on both of the servers that combine, uh, and so there was a lot of jockeying around. In the end, a lot of what we did was we just ended up getting together, um, and we just shut down a lot of the smaller sects. Okay, and then we banded together to form the Divine Flame, which is the current beast on this particular server. As you can see, Divine Flame, Divine Flame, Divine Flame, Divine Flame. We document, you know, completely dominate this server for the most part, which is good because we win the we usually win the actual um, weekly voyage event. I guess they call it the speed run. We win this every we win this every week, and it's nice because you get, I think it's like 4,500 gems if you win, or 4,500 diamonds. So it's pretty nice. But yeah, it's a good thing to look into. So pretty good shape. I don't know, I don't see any server merges on the future, but if we do, it's we'll definitely probably still be able to dominate even if we merge with another server because there's a lot of people in Divine Flame. I mean, I think it was like two two heavy sects, and then like three or four mid-level sects, all combined to form Divine Flame. So we got the number one player on the server, the number two player on the server, the number three player on the server, and the number four player on the server. Needless to say, I don't have to worry about my Immortal Herb runs with having protection. So I don't think I've had one lost recently. So because your support adds the BP to yours, and when you've got the top four in a server, it's generally nobody going to mess with you. So that makes things good. It's allowed me to get a little bit ahead on getting my S shards for the Immortal Herbs because that's what you used to have to do for your absorption. So sped that up a little bit. But yeah, so yeah, everything's going good. Like I say, no news on the SSP characters right now, so we'll just continue playing the events as they come out. My assumption is it probably won't happen until for at least a month or two. They'll probably wait until the holiday season, the travel season's over, before they actually start rolling in. And then of course we've got Valentine's Day coming up as well too. So they'll probably have a little event associated with that. Okay, chocolate giving event, and then of course after that, they'll probably have the start doing the spring stuff. So it's probably going to be sometime spring, maybe summer, early summer before they actually begin to phase in the SSP characters and start releasing them on a global server, which is which is good. I have no problem waiting that long. I'll have enough built up by that time to fully max out the first SSP that they come out with in terms of enhancements and levels and whatnot. I'll be able to sun them immediately, and that's what we're going to do. And that character will replace Hugh in the lineup, and I'll have SPs and SSP lineup at that time, and I'll get a big BP jump out of that, of course, as well too. So that's where we're at this particular point. So just moving along, enjoying the game. I do very much enjoy the IP. If you're watching Soul Land 2, okay, that's been out. I've got Soul Land 2. It's been out for a while. It's probably been out for about maybe 5 or 6 months, I would say, because they're up to like episode. I think they're up to episode 35 now, or something like 34, 35. It's pretty interesting. They've got a new, a new main character, of course, because as you know, Tang San became the Asura god. So I mean, he's up there. So, but it's him looking down at the beginning and tells the story, how the Tang sect has sort of not the strongest sect anymore, and about the collisions of the continents with the Sun and Moon Empire war that ensued, which Uh, well, almost lost, but anyway, we did manage to beat them, the Sun and Moon Empire. But yeah, so there's a little bit of uh, conflict between they've got soul tools, which soul guiding tools is what they're called, and they use the soul power, but to operate tools and machinery, which is completely different from the soul masters who just that it's pretty much just basically magic or soul power, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't use very much in terms of mechanical assistance, and soul guiding tools are just the opposite. I mean, you do have the initial soul power from the actual user, but whether it be a gun, or weapons or stuff like that, uh, it enables just about anybody to become an effective warrior because it doesn't take very much soul power to activate those devices. So that's what's causing the big, that's what's causing it is soul guiding tools or the soul masters. Um, they were able to beat the Soul and Moon, Sun and Moon Empire simply because of the fact that the Soul Masters, your level, 90s Soul Kings and whatnot, were able to pretty much effectively overpower anything that Sun and Moon Empire had with their soul guiding tools. But what's interesting here, and what's Soul Land 2 is sort of like focusing on, is the fact that the Sun and Moon Empire is beginning to build soul guiding tools that are capable of competing. Actually, one of the Soul Kings, who's level 99, who's head of the Shuck School, said that he witnessed the soul guiding tool that might actually be able to kill him. So this could mean, a serious escalation. Even though we did beat the Sun and Moon Empire, the Soul Master Dynasty could be coming to an end where they're actually the most powerful, the most powerful people. So that's what it's sort of focusing on. Uh, Along with the main characters, UA is interesting, mental soul rings and what like that, and ability. So it's very interesting. I did not like the main character, the protagonist, so towards the beginning, but they've really done a lot of work to make him seem a lot more powerful, and he's starting to come into his own. It's getting pretty good. I am enjoying it immensely. I don't know if they'll meld any of that in here. One thing is his soul spirit. It was the actual is a worm. What's it called? I can't remember his name, but he is the actual soul spirit for him. And they do have an actual right here. Sky Dream Ice Worm is his, but it doesn't look anything like that. It looks like that. If you see the little worm up there in the corner, that's sort of kind of what his soul spirit looks like right now. It can transform into a much nicer looking, more like a very large worm. But in a small form, it doesn't. There's none of this. Have not seen this at all. And this is again mental soul spirit. So very rare in terms of that. So that is his soul spirit. So it's pretty. That's one of the carryovers, the interesting carryovers from this game. So I thought that was pretty nice. A little bit different, but they did carry it over. So give them their props for that. But yeah, it's getting interesting. So I would definitely, if you have a chance to watch it, there's a YouTube channel called Anime Box. I found them to be the best in terms of subbing of the actual anime episodes. That's sometimes a big problem with a lot of especially the Chinese animes, is that just translations are not very good. I mean, it's sometimes it's to the point where I can't follow what's going on. It's just so erratic. I mean, you can piece it. You can tell that the translation was done by someone who doesn't understand English. But Anime Box is really good about their subs. I've not had any trouble at all understanding and following along with the anime. So definitely might want to give them a look. And they are doing Soul Land 2. They also have full set kits for original Soul Land. You can watch the 0 episodes from like 1 to all the way up to 130 in one sit. It's like 7 or 8 hours. I've done it, but it took me a day or two to do it. But yeah, with excellent translation, it was done really well done. So if you might want to, go take that out if you want to do a binge over the weekend, that's some place you might want to check out. And again, that's Anime Box, so I give a shout out to them. All right, so that's all I've got. Just wanted to give you an update. If they do come out with some type of travel event, Lunar New Year event, I will of course definitely do a video on that. But for right now, just make sure that you do your Behemoth Beast draws inside the Soul Spirit Prayer, and make sure that you do your dailies so that you can complete the Vast Sea Covenant. There's some good rewards in there. Not, it's not as good as some of the other events, but it's still definitely something that you should do, because you can get some advancement stones, which are always good. Okay, you can get a lot of BP by enhancing the spirits for these characters, but it takes a lot of spirit advancement stones to do that, and they just don't give you a lot of them. Okay, but it's a big BP boost at any time you can put any type of a ranking on there, actually on the soul spirit. So this avatar right here, once you start getting into 65 stones, I mean 735, that's a lot of essence to begin with, but it's obtainable. It takes a little while, but there are ways to get it. Most events will have some that you can get, and they're in the shops that you can get. Most of the events have soul essence as an option to purchase it, so you can get it fairly quickly. These not so much. So yeah, it takes a little while to gather these, and you have 65. But as you can see, this is a percentage here, so you're seeing a 40% increase in hit points and attack, 40% increase in all of your defenses. Okay, that's a massive amount. Okay, and that's just one upgrade. So that's a lot of BP that can be had from this. So don't neglect it, but at the same time, because of the amount of spirit stones we get, you have to be a little bit picky and choosy. I've decided to go ahead and focus on Bibidong, since she is the most powerful game. She's the most powerful character in global right now. Second is SP Wu. Okay, debatable after that. Chen is pretty good. Wu is, of course, like I say, I went with her second, simply because of the fact that she was the third character. She was an early character, which allows you to build her up quickly. As you see, there's a lot of chests out there which don't have Bibidong or Chen in them, but they do have Wu in them. That's why I chose Wu. Yeah, I would go Bibidong. I would then go Wu. After that, Chen is good. Tang San, who's the first character, he's always a good choice. Because he's the first character, he's easy to get shards for him. Okay, so you have to necessarily focus on the fact that, can you get shards for them? A 1-star, or a God 1 is not a God 4 is going to be more powerful than a God 1 if they're all SP characters. So you need to keep that in mind. It's which one you can build out. Like I've got Bibidong up to a +2, okay, which is good because that. But if you look at my others, I've got God 4s on Hugh. She's triple S, okay, and then on Wu and thanks again, I've got God 2s, and she still haven't been able to put a God on Bibidong as of yet. So when God refers to the divine skill, that refers to the this right here. Okay, this is you get a big boost from the character, but it takes time to build this up. Okay, so you need to keep that in mind. So a God 1 is not going to be as powerful as a God 4. So even though the character might not be quite as powerful because it came a little bit earlier in the draw, it still can probably be built up quicker and can therefore be stronger until once you get that later character up to God 2s and God 3. Yeah, it's going to overtake the God 4. But until that time, and you need more than 4 characters. You need 8 characters. There are several events and several facets of gameplay, PvE rated gameplay, that you need to have 2 teams. So keep that in mind as well. You're building 4. You want to build a main team, but if you want to, do well inside of the PV, some of the PV events, you're going to need 8 characters, and then of course 8 characters. So you can be using it. You can be using up to. You can be using quite literally up to sometimes 16 characters, up to 20 characters, and some of the things when they have 3 levels of thought. So keep that in mind when you're building up. You want to try to keep everything on your main 4. Put your best equipment, everything on your first 4. But to make that second team, after you've finished everything you can do on your first 4, focus on your second floor. Don't let them go slack. Otherwise, you'll have trouble winning some of the things like the race events and things like that they have now. These are these peak battles. This is an exceedingly difficult gameplay mode. Because you go up against everybody, and as you can see, Buka, he's in my Divine Flame, Divine Flame, Divine Flame. As you can see, I've said we've got, it looks like we've actually got the top 6 or 7 on the server, or Divine Flame. But if you look at the formations on this, you've got first team, okay, second team, okay, and third team, okay. But these are your secondary teams, okay? So you got to keep that in mind. This is how many characters you conceivably need to have if you're going to actually, do the thing. So you got to keep that in mind. So this right here, you need 12 players just for this particular game mode, okay? And there are other game modes where you need even more. So if you're going to get a character, try to bring it up as fast as you can, and do those first 4. Once you've done the best you can with them, put what remains on your next 4, and what remains after that on your next 4. And I would try to focus on at least. I've got my focus right now on my top. I focus on 12 because that's really all I can handle from a free-to-play perspective. Okay, I rack out these 4, then I rack out these 4. Okay. And then I rack out these 4. Okay, that's really as far as I can go at this particular point. As you can see, I've got them all maxed out, enhancements and level wise. So you have to keep that in mind. But you don't want to neglect those others. Or the better you complete in those particular game modes, the more rewards you get. I've got 45,000 diamonds right now, and I'll be able to spend a lot of those diamonds inside of this Vast Covenant Sea event. But understand, I keep my rankings up in all of the events, and I make sure that I keep those rankings up at least once or twice. I usually do it every other day. I usually do it on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I will focus on Arena, see if I can advance. Focus, do the Soto, see if I can advance, and just trying to get a little bit better. In all of those modes, the slaughter, the Hell City slaughter arena, which is this one right here, Doing Hell slaughter arena, so just keeping those events in mind, and because you get rewards for those based on your placement, it's just free diamonds. So on a daily basis, you just do your mail and bam. It's not uncommon for me to get 1,000 diamonds each day just from doing those events. That doesn't account all the other diamonds you get just from checking out the secret shops, and then of course there's a sect event that's 4,500 right there. So I don't have any trouble getting diamonds. Okay, I'm sort of holding them off right now because I was waiting for some events to come along. I'm expecting we're going to have. I was expecting some type of nice New Year event where there will be a lot of stuff to purchase. Haven't seen that yet. So I'll probably just go ahead and use it on the Vast Sea Covenant. But I want to wait until tomorrow before I make a decision on that. This just opened up. The Covenant just opened up today. The Behemoth Beast ends today. So tomorrow we might see something that would be related to the Lunar Festival. And so we'll take a look at that and see what they got to offer. They usually offer pretty good stuff in that event. It's usually a festival event. Usually got to be fighting that. I can't remember what's that dragon. I can't remember what it's called. But you can usually fight and usually get quite good rewards from it. So I'm hoping that they'll have that. But we'll have to wait and see. That's what they've had the last couple of years. Make the fireworks, throw the fireworks on it, hit it, and and you do that certain event, you get the rewards and stuff. So I was expecting to see that event is what they've had. I think they've had it last. I think they had that the last 2 years. I think is what it was. So we'll have to wait and see. But we'll see. We'll see if it does come out as planned. But other than that, that's all I've got for today. Yeah, just a quick update. And like I say, if they do come out with that, I'll definitely do a video this weekend on it and show you. Because it's a little bit tricky event, what you have to do to play it. I know the first time I hauled it, it was a little unusual to figure out what exactly you have to do. You have to build the fireworks, build the bombs, and then you have to plant the bombs. We actually have to throw them and drag them and drop them. So it's a little bit interesting in terms of that. But we'll go over it if they do have it. But we'll make that decision once it comes out. Okay, so again, thanks a lot for watching. Remember to subscribe. Once you subscribe button, you'll be notified each time I drop a video. This is Ken here, still coming at you from the corner, signing out.